Alright people, Nick Roberts here, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to build out this sales page using the free page builder Elementor. It's a really nice page, and you can see that I've pretty much built out a clone copy here from scratch. I'm going to show you how to do that in this video, so if that's something that interests you, stick around and let's get in. So the first thing we're going to do is grab some colors off the original sales page, and to do that we're going to use a Chrome extension called the Color Pick Eyedropper. So you can type that into Google, hit the first one, and you can go and add it to Chrome, all right? And it looks just like this. Let me show you how it works. So I'll come back to the original sales page, and we're just gonna go and grab some colors, okay? So what I can do is I can just hover over here, you can see that? And then if I just click, and then I can just copy that hex code, that color code there, and I can go and drop it in a document. All right, and I've already made it actually beforehand, but let me just give you one more example of that. Let's say I wanted to grab this red. I do the same thing, color pick eyedropper, just hover over the red, click, copy that, and I can paste that in my document. All right, I put this together before to save a bit of time, but go and grab your colors anytime you want to clone a page. And then the next thing that you do is you go and grab the, let me just close this. You go and grab the logo and the images, all right? Now, I'm also gonna leave these in a little folder or a little link below this video, okay? So I'll download these for you. But if you want to know how to do it, all you do is just hit save image, okay? A little right click, save image. Is there anything else we need to save? This money one here, yeah? Again, you can just right click, save that image. And last of all, if you wanted to get the background looking the same, you could just hit right click on the page, hit inspect. This mad sort of code is going to come up, but if you scroll down, you're going to see over here, you're going to see that there's an image over here. And if you just hit open a new tab, you're going to get the background image, and then you can also do save image as. All right, so if you wanted to get the page looking identical with the same images and the same logos and everything, that's how you do it. All right, now we're going to dive into WordPress, and in case you don't have Elementor installed, you just come to plugins, add new, type in Elementor, and it will pop up, and then you can install now and you can activate. All right, once that's done, we're going to go and create a new page, okay? So I'm just going to hit pages, I'm going to do add new, I'm just going to call this 15 seconds sales page, all right? And then I'm just going to hit edit with Elementor. All right, let that load up. All right, we're in. So what I'm going to do now is bounce between the page builder and the original sales page, and you can see we need one section and two sections. Come back, hit the plus, choose one section. We're going to come over to height. We're going to do minimum height, and you can see that bounces it to 400. That just gives us a bit more space to work with. And then I'm going to come over and I'm going to duplicate this section. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is add the background image. So select the top section by clicking on these 6 dots. I'm going to come to style. I'm going to come to background type, classic, image, and you can upload a file here. I've already uploaded it. I'm just going to grab this one and insert. All right, we're going to do the same thing for the bottom section. Okay, I'm going to select it with these 6 dots. We're going to come to style. We're going to come to background, but this time I'm going to go for a gradient. All right, I'm going to hit gradient, and what I'm looking for is this effect from light blue to dark blue. Okay, so let me show you how to set this up. I've already got my colors over here. I'm going to grab light blue, copy that, and then bring it back into here. You see we've got 2 colors we can put in here. We've got color and second color. Okay, so let's drop in light blue as a as our first color there. Okay, that's fine. And then we'll drop in dark blue as the second color in this one here, and just paste that in. And then we're going to want to change the angle of it. All right, so let's just bring that down to about 90, and you can see we get that nice sort of gradient effect. All right, next we're going to add our logo. So come up to this Rubik's Cube. We're going to drag in an image, drop it in the column, hit your image, grab your logo, insert, and then we're going to bring this size down. Okay, best way to do that is to go to style, grab this width, and then just start playing with that. Okay, and we'll bring it up to about 20 looks good. All right, so next up, I want to bring in this bit of text here. But first of all, I want to find out what font it is. So there's another Chrome extension to do this. You can go to Google, just type in what font. Okay, go and add this extension. And then if I come back to the sales page and I hit here, I can just hit what font. If I hover over any of the text, it's going to tell me what font we're using. This one's Montserrat. Okay, so I'll just exit that. And now let's go and build that out. Rubik's Cube, heading. Drop the heading in. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to center align the text. All right. I'm going to come to style. I'm going to go and make it white. Just drag that into the corner. I am going to go to typography and I'm going to go and change the font to Montserrat. And then I'm just going to beef up the size a bit to something like 25. So the next thing I'm going to do is create this dashed border around the text. Let me show you how to do that. So I'm just going to make sure that I've got my heading selected. All right. I'm going to come to advanced. I'm just going to unlock the margin. I'm going to unlock the padding. All right. And I'm going to scroll down to border. And we are going to choose usually it's on none. We're going to choose a dashed border. All right. You can't see anything now. And that's because we're going to play around with the width and we're going to play around with the border radius. So let's just start giving it a bit of width and you'll start to see it appear. Okay, I'll give it something like 3. Okay, let's give it some color. All right, so let me go and grab my light blue again. I'll just drop that in here. And then I'm going to give it some border radius. Okay. And let's try out something like 20. And you can see it's getting rounder like that. And let's actually give it some 25. That looks pretty good. And then last of all, we want to bring in both of the edges and also create some space above and below the text. So if you come up to advanced, we're first of all going to give it some margin. All right. So let's give it 300 on the right. You can see that. Move that down like that. 300 on the left. And then in terms of padding on top, we just give it about 10 and 10 on the bottom. And you can see that just created a bit of space on the text there. And it looks a bit wrong at the moment, but if I just open that up full page, that looks pretty good. Okay, compare that to the original, looks pretty similar. All right, moving on, let's create our next bit of text here. Okay, so again, I'm just gonna come to Rubik's, heading, drop that below, center align. I'm going to already paste in our text. I'm going to make sure it's white. I'm going to go to typography. I'm going to type in Montserrat. And I'm going to bring that size up to something like 35. That's pretty good. And I'm going to change the weight a little bit on this. Okay. So I'm going to bring the weight down to about 300. You can see that thins out the text a little bit. I'm also going to make it italic like that. Next up is the yellow text. So what I'm going to do for this is I'm just going to duplicate. If you right click on your element and you just hit duplicate, you can see we duplicated that. Okay, and then I'm just going to go and style it. So first of all, let's just go and copy and paste the text. I'm going to drop that in over here. Okay, and then let's go back to style. We're going to go to typography. Actually, first of all, let's make this yellow. Go grab our yellow over here. Come back. Let's just drop in that yellow on there. And then we're going to hit our typography, okay? So first of all, I'm going to want it a lot bigger. Something like 70. And also, I'm going to bring it to, we're going to make it bold and make it normal text, something like that. Okay, let me just check that looks good. It's pretty decent. Probably want to bring down the size a little bit, maybe to 55. So next we're going to hit this text here, and this is slightly different to making Elementor because we've got a bit of bold and we've got a bit of underlined all within the same text. We can't use a heading anymore, okay? Let me show you how to do this. So I'm going to come to the Rubik's Cube. I'm going to bring in the text editor this time and just drop that in, okay? Let's come back, let's go and copy our text, and I'm going to go and drop it into this box over here like that. Okay, and you can see it's got bold already. If If you want to switch your bold on and off, there's just a bold button here. You can see that, bold on and off. Okay, so it's already done for me, but I'm just showing you where it is. There's also the without, that's underlined. Okay, you can see you've got an underline here. So you can really go and underline any word you want. Now, I want to make this white. Okay, so I'm just going to come over here and I'm just going to choose my color here this time, and I'm just going to make that white, and then I'm going to go and make it center aligned, just like that. And now I can come over to style, typography. I'm going to beef up the size, and we'll sort out the line height in a second. I'll put that about 40, looks good. And I'm just going to hit the font again and make that sure that's Montserrat. Now you can see this is all sort of a mess at the moment, and that's only because of this line height over here. Okay, so if I just bring that line height up, you can see that that sorts to start to sort itself out. And then if I minimize the page, you can see it looks pretty good. I'm going to bring down the size a little bit. Let's just bring that down to sort of like 35. Okay, try that. That was way better. So let's bring in this next bit, no paid ads, no email list. Okay, so I'm going to come back over here, hit the Rubik's Cube, bring in a headline, drop it under here. I'm going to center align the text. Let's just go and copy and paste that text in there as well. Copy and paste. Okay, as usual, let's just make it white just for now so we can see what we're doing. And I'm going to come to typography. I'm going to type in Montserrat. I'm going to bring this up to something like 30, looks good. And I'm going to bring the weight right down to 300, just thin out those letters. I'm going to make that italic. I'm going to maybe even make that a bit smaller. And that's pretty decent. Okay, so we want to create this sort of blue background border around it, similar to what we did before. Okay, we're just going to go to advanced, and I'm just going to unlink the margin, unlink the padding. And first of all, I'm going to come down to background. Okay, I'm going to do background type. We're going to drop in a color, and the color we're going to use is this light blue. Copy that and just paste that into the background. Okay, and then we're going to want to play around with the margin, the padding, and the border radius to just give it the same feel. Okay, so let's go to the border first of all, and in the border I'm just going to type in 25. That should give me a nice rounded corner. It's hard to see at the moment, but you can see there, that's just rounded it off for me. And now we're just going to make the whole thing shorter, so I'm going to come back up to advanced, and let's just chop off a load on the right, let's chop off a load on the left, and let's give the text some room to breathe. So I'm just going to give it 10 on the top, 10 on the bottom, a little bit more on the right, a little bit more on the left. So next we're going to bring in this video and this icon list sitting side by side, and to do this we're going to have to create two columns within this section. So you do this by going to the Rubik's Cube and bringing in an inner section, and an inner section is just a smaller section that sits within your main section. Okay, so you got your main section here, and then you got this inner section down here. Okay, and you can see we've got two columns in there. I'm going to come back to Rubik's. I'm going to drag in a video like that, and I'm going to drag in an icon list. Okay, and for this you can just type in icon and drag in this icon list. Now we need to play around with this item list a bit. It looks pretty shit at the moment, so I'm just going to close that, hit here. I'm going to change the icon first of all. There's one that I like called dot circle. All right, just choose that, insert. And then we're just going to want to beef up the size of everything. So as usual, you do that in style. Okay, so first of all, let's come to the text. Let's make the text white. Okay, let's also make the typography. Let's make it bigger. Okay, so let's just beef it up to 25. Looks good. As always, change the text to Montserrat. Okay. Let's see the weight. I'm just going to make it something like 400, and the same for the icon. Okay, just above the text icon, I'm also going to give it white for the color, and then I'm going to want to beef up the size as well to probably the same thing, 25. Yeah, that's decent. And if I come back to content, I can just copy and paste my text. Okay, so you can just open and close that, open and close. You can see here, you can just drop in your text. So let's just go and grab this one over here. I'm just going to copy and paste that in. And then once I've done that, I can close it and I can just hit duplicate. Okay, duplicate, 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 duplicate. Okay, you can get all your bullets like that. And again, if you just want to change the text within them, all you got to do is open it up. Let me just show you one more. What you got to do is open it up and drop in a bit of text like that. Now at the moment, they're all sort of clumped together. So we're going to come back to style. You can hit list and let's give it a bit of space between. Okay, so just keep bringing that out until you find something that's decent. 15 looks pretty good. I'm going to give them a divider. All right, I'm going to make it dashed. Okay, and that was pretty cool. And then the last thing that I want to do is I just want to sort of make this aligned in the middle. And to align that in the middle, I'm just going to come to the column. All right, so the column is this gray bit that looks like a book. All right, so now we're in the edit column. You see that? All right, this time, let me just show you one more time. This time we're in the edit the icon list. All right, make sure you select this edit column, okay? And we're going to come to vertical align. I'm just going to hit middle, and that should drop into the middle nicely. All right, let's go and create our red box. So we're going to come back. I'm going to duplicate our text editor that we made before. Just duplicate that. I'm going to drag that below, okay? And we're going to go and we're just going to copy and paste the text in, okay? Now, I'd like to show you another little trick. Is this text? It's already got color. It's already got bold. It's already got all that stuff. And a good thing that you can do is you can do strip.html.com and you can drop that in there. Okay, and then you just do strip the HTML, and it's just going to give you some nice clean text that we can copy and paste into here. Okay, so I'm just going to copy and paste that. You see, it's all cleaned up. And then let's go and give everything a little bit of bold. Okay, so let's go and actually see what's going on in here. So we got some bold and some bold. Okay, so let's give this some bold and everything between the, there you go, I think that was it, and some bold like that. That's good. We're also going to be making this, this is going to be yellow. Okay, so I can just go and drop in yellow. This is going to be, oh sorry, this bold bit is going to be yellow. Okay, let's make that yellow as well. And then I think everything else is going to be white, yeah. Okay, and this is where everything's going to vanish, okay? But don't worry, it's still there. You just hit white, and then again, just highlight that, and hit white. Okay, and then we're just going to change the size. And to change the size, just come to style. As always, we're going to hit typography. We're already on Montserrat, but let's just drop this down to something like 25. Looks good. So we want to give it that red background. So I'm going to make sure I'm on the text editor. I'm going to come to advanced. I'm going to come to background. I'm going to hit classic. We're going to go for a color. And this is where you just copy and paste your red in. So let me just copy that. And I'm just going to paste that in there, and that gives us a background. And the next thing we want to do is we're just going to go to border, and we're going to do a similar thing to before. So we might want to round it a little bit. Let's just have a look at it. Yeah, so let's round it off a little bit, and then let's give it a dashed line, and then let's just beef up that line so we can see it. That should do. And then let's close that down. Let's have a look. Okay, now that line needs to be white, so let me just hit this and just drag that up there, and there you go, that's way better. And then it looks like we're gonna have to give it a little bit of the text, a bit of breathing room. Okay, so to do that, just come up to advanced, let's unlock these, and we're gonna give it a little bit of padding on top. Let's try 5, let's give it 10, and 10 on the bottom. And let's also give it a bit on the right and left, probably 10 and 10 as well. So before we move on to the next section, let's just give this a bit of breathing room. So first of all, I'm going to select my section, and I'm just going to unlink margin, unlink padding, and I'm going to give it 50 on the top and see how that looks. That was pretty good, okay? And then let's see what else we can tidy up, okay? So let me go back to the original, and there's a bit of space between them, okay? Let me show you how to do that. So if I select this right here, and then I can give it a bit of, margin on the bottom, okay? For example, I could give it 50. You can see that bounces that down. Okay. Or the other way to do it is I could select this instead. Okay. And I could give that some margin. Okay. And I could give it maybe 25 on the top. Okay. It has the same effect. You can either add to the bottom or add to the top. Okay. So that's fine. Let's go back here. Let's just see what else they're doing. Everything else is pretty close together. Okay. Let's come back to our page. Yeah, that all looks good. I'm going to give this a bit of breathing room here. So I'm going to select my inner section. Okay, inner section. I'm going to hit advanced. I always unlink these. And I'm going to give this one some top margin of 25. You see that just pushes it down. And then give it some bottom of 25. Creates a bit of gap there. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, that's way better. And then finally, we want to create a bit of room at the bottom here. So I'm just going to come back. I'm going to select my entire section again, and I'm going to give it a bit of padding on the bottom. Let's try 50. You can see that's created this gap over here. All right, so let's create our second section with this button. First thing I'm going to do is grab this text. Okay, so I want to duplicate our text editor here. Okay, right click, duplicate. Let's drag that down. Let's just drop that into that column there. Okay, I'm going to go and strip off whatever's on it. In fact, I can even type this in. What did it say? So click below to get started now. Okay, so let's go and type that in. All right, let me just make that black so we can see what we're doing. And I'm going to put click below to get started, I think it was. Okay, click below to get started. To get started now. In all capitals, and then like that. Okay, and then we can just come and make sure that not all of that's bold. Okay, let's make sure the click below was underlined. The get started now, that was all bold. And then, yeah, that's good. That was good. Oh yeah, and then we just want to make it all white. Okay, so let me just highlight all of that and make that all white. All right, we're getting there. Let's make our button. So come back over here, hit the Rubik's Cube, come over to button and just drag that in. Okay, you can see the button looks nothing like this at the moment. So we're going to customize it. We're going to turn it into that. So first thing I want to do is I want to make it extra large. Okay, I'm also going to put in get instant access now. Okay, get instant access now. I can drop in an icon. Okay, I'm going to hit this icon library. I'm going to type in cart. Yeah, that's perfect. I think that's exactly the same one actually. Okay, let's go and style it. So come over here, come to typography. I'm going to change that to Montserrat as always. Where's that gone? Montserrat. And we're going to bring out the size, and you'll see that will start to change the size of the button. So let's bring that up pretty big, something like 35. I'm going to make that completely bold. Okay, and that is fine. Then I'm going to bring in some text color. Okay, so let's make our text color black. I'm just going to drag that over here. All right, now the background color is going to be the yellow that we've been using. Okay, so let's just bring it over here. Let's go grab our yellow quickly. And here it is. Okay, so drop that. That's for the background of the button, by the way. Okay, background of the button. Just drop that in as yellow. And now we want to give it that curved look. So that's on your border radius. Drop in something like 100. That curves it. And then we just want to beef up the space between the edges and the text. That's with your padding. And something like that. Maybe a bit less. That's pretty cool. Now you can see on the original, when I hover over it, it grows, the background turns white, the text stays the same. Okay, so let's go and do that. So you can see on here, we're on the button, we're styling the button. We set up the normal, but you can also go to hover. Okay, and this is the hover effect. So what's going to happen here? Well, the text is going to stay black. Okay, but we want the background color to turn white. Okay, so let's just drag that to white and watch what happens now. You can see that turns white. And it also should expand. You can do that on hover animation. Okay, you just come over here and you put grow. Okay, and then that should grow just like that. And then the last thing we want to do is align the button in the center. So just come back to content and just hit alignment in the center. Okay, sorted. So we're going to do a couple more things in this video. I'm going to show you how to do the make money back guarantee. We're going to clean up the space a little bit. And in another video, I'm going to show you how to do this clock. Okay, but let's go and do that now. So last thing we need is just an image, Rubik's Cube, image, drop that image in there. Okay, we're gonna go to choose an image, and then I've got my make money back guarantee that I've already dropped in there. It's way big, so as always, if you want to change the size, you go to style. We're going to play with the width, and we're just going to bring that up to something we like. All right, you can always look back at the original. I know it's on the corner here, but it's pretty much the size of the button. So let's bring it up a little bit more to something like 45. That's pretty good. And let's just compare it to the original and see if we need any space. Okay, actually it's pretty decent, but I'm going to give it a little bit of space. All right, and it's always useful to learn how to do this. So let's give this button, I'm going to hit the edit button, I'm going to come to advanced, and I'm just going to unlock these, and I'm going to give it a little bit of margin on the top, something like 25. Okay, let's have a look at that. That's pretty good. So that's it. We've just seen how to make a really cool sales page using Elementor, and we've done a lot of the tricks that you can do in ClickFunnels. Okay, we've managed to do these borders around the text. We've done all the colors. We've done these boxes. We've even done the button. It looks pretty similar, and I swear if you worked on this a bit longer, you could get it exactly the same. And you could pretty much build out this entire ClickFunnels page using just Elementor, and I'm going to be doing more lessons like this. We'll move on to other sections. We'll do more ambitious stuff in the future, okay? But I'm going to leave this video at this because it's dragging on, I know, and thanks for staying with me, thanks for bearing with me, thanks for being patient. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I also like to point out Elementor, the version I was using today is completely free, okay? And the page that we were cloning is built on ClickFunnels, okay? So you can actually build quality stuff without ClickFunnels or without any of the the paid page builders or page funnel builders. I hope you enjoyed this video today. Give us a little like if you did. Hit the subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this. And I'm going to leave it at that. All right. Enjoy your page building. Enjoy your funnel building. And I'll catch you again real soon. All right. All the best.